Hey, what's up guys? It's Michael McAllister here with another GHL weekly breakdown where we break down the last weeks of updates from Go HighLevel and all the things that they're changing behind the scenes and process them and give them back to you in a way that you as the individual loan officer or the branch manager can leverage the information. So with that being said, stay tuned. Your GHL weekly breakdown is coming right up. All right, the first update that we have is the rollout of Opportunities V.2. Now this needs to be enabled in the labs section. We have gone over this a few times in our GHL weekly breakdown. If you do not see labs within your settings, then it's probably because at the agency level, somebody does not have that feature enabled, the access to beta features enabled. We have this enabled for our clients, so any of our clients that are watching this, you can take the step to go into labs, make sure that this feature is enabled, and you'll get to benefit from the new Opportunities user interface where you now have the ability to filter by a bunch of different things that you didn't have the ability to filter by before, including when was the opportunity won, when was the opportunity marked as lost. You can filter by when the opportunity was last updated or when the stage was last changed. A bunch of things that you used to have to go over to contacts and do in SmartList, create your filters within SmartList. In order to see this, now you're able to do this directly within Opportunities, in addition to some functionality that I don't even think I could have recreated with SmartList. So this is really cool. I know that all of our clients use Opportunities very heavily. This is one of the things that made us really excited about using HighLevel in the first place, was their understanding of pipelines and opportunity stages and the visualization that we wanted for that. So seeing them roll out new updates to how we can interact with that data is really cool, a really positive thing for us. Next up, this is not a functionality update so much as new templates that are now available in the template library for sites and funnels. So if you're an Empower LO client, you actually don't have access to this section by default, and that is because we wanted for a long time to kind of protect our clients from creeping into too many different features that maybe weren't supported as well at HighLevel and weren't as crucial for a loan officer's growth and development. We have since kind of changed our position on this, or at least allowed it to evolve, and so expect to see the funnels and websites available to all of our clients over the next couple months. For right now, it is available by request, so if you do want access to funnels and websites, just reach out to me or one of the success managers, Ari, Mike, whoever in the Facebook group. We'll make sure we get you set up with access to funnels and websites, but expect to see that roll out in the next couple months in your account. Now this update is just a few new templates that are available inside of funnels and websites that are meant to recreate the functionality of Linktree. Shane Kidwell, I'll probably tag him in the comments in this to find out what he recommends besides Linktree. I can't remember what it was. We were at the Next Level event down in Dallas and he was very adamant that there is something better than Linktree that he recommends. So I'm curious to get his take on what this means, being able to just put together a template essentially inside like a funnel or a website and use that as your link tree. So they have 25 templates that they've already loaded in there. It seems like it would be a good opportunity to remove an extra tool that you don't need. However, I don't use Linktree right now, so I'm really interested to get the take on somebody else who does. All right, next up, not so much an update as much as an advisory or like almost like a lecture that came from Sean. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all, but he spent 5 minutes talking about A2P 10DLC. He encouraged anybody who's watching, if you haven't Googled it already, to look it up. This affects deliverability of text messages inside your Go HighLevel account. If you haven't done anything with this yet, you are way behind the curve. If you've started to do stuff around registering but you're not quite sure exactly what you're supposed to do, don't worry. You're with 80% of the population that's dealing with this right now. It's something that we deal with a lot internally, and we have 2 members of our team that are just pretty much constantly working on trying to figure out how to navigate this. So go back and watch the video if this is something that concerns you. It's inside of HighLevel. Again, it's like a 5-minute video. In fact, I'll probably drop the link, if I remember, drop the link into the comments as far as being able to watch the Loom video that Sean put together, kind of explaining what it is, how it affects you. According to Sean, within the next couple months, they're gonna have mandatory enforcement of A2P registration. The way that he was talking made it sound like we literally will not be able to send text messages if you have not registered register the local phone number through A2P. So I don't know if this is something that Twilio is going to implement, or if this is something that somehow the carriers are able to implement, and it's going to go. Right now it seems like it only affects T-Mobile numbers and maybe some AT&T numbers here and there. I don't know if that's going to transition and all of a sudden all the carriers are going to be filtering if you're not registering. I don't know. I know that the registration process is long. I know that it's complicated at times. I know that it takes some back and forth, and we've really done a lot to try and work through this. So if this is something that you are facing, something you're concerned about, please either comment below or reach out to me personally. I'm happy to help you navigate through this in any way that I can. In fact, I did it for somebody else in the group. He's a client now, but he wasn't before. I did it for somebody else in the group as far as helping them kind of navigate how to register for A2P. I'm happy to do it for you too. We want to make sure we're sending out text messages compliantly, and we want to make sure that they're getting delivered. All right, next we've got a minor update in a workflow premium action. So one of the premium actions or sets of premium actions that you can do inside of workflows is Google Sheets, interacting with Google Sheets. And so now one of the functions that you are able to do, one of the actions, premium actions that you are able to do, is to look up a row and create one if said row does not exist. So you give it a search criteria, you say, find the row where the column equals this. It's gonna search the entire spreadsheet. If it doesn't find it, it will create one. I'm sure this is probably just a replacement for you having to do two different actions where you would find and then do an if-else logic. If found, then do nothing. If found, then update row. If not found, then create row. I'm sure it probably just creates less of a workaround, less of a complicated process. Probably just simplifies that essentially and consolidates the number of actions that you do. I don't know. I was hesitant to put this in here because I don't think that anybody's using this yet. I think it's super valuable. Again, we've got a couple teams on board that we want to kind of push in this direction to help them replace some of their Zapier usage. So this is powerful, and that's why I'm going to throw this in here. However, I do not think that there are many loan officers that this is going to impact right now. We have another update on a severely underutilized feature, or at least now I believe it's severely underutilized. And this is typically how it goes with HighLevel features. A lot of the times they'll roll out a new functionality of HighLevel, and having been working with HighLevel for the past 4 years and seeing the growing pains, seeing the good, the bad, the ugly, we've kind of taken an approach over time where we'll sit on the sidelines and we'll watch as the dust settles. We'll see how people are using the new function, what they're breaking, what the breaking of that functionality is causing, what problems it's causing for their customers, etc., before we really push it out to all of our customers. The social media planner is kind of one of those things as well. There's really low adoption from what we can see inside of the HighLevel community for this tool. So I don't really feel insanely confident broadcasting it because I don't know how much your posts get seen, if they're getting penalized inside the newsfeed. I don't know a whole lot about social media marketing, and so I don't talk a whole lot about it. That being said, the social media planner has a couple new features that make it way better than it was yesterday, in my opinion, or whenever it was that they pushed the updates out. All right, so the first new feature that the social media planner has that I think is really cool is a approval flow. I don't know exactly what this looks like. I haven't been able to dive into it yet, but there is now the ability to create a post and then have that sent to somebody to approve that post, and then only when they approve that post does that post actually get scheduled on the social media planner. So think being able to hire or outsource help for your social media marketing as a mortgage loan officer. So being able to hire an intern, being able to pay somebody slightly less, knowing that you're going to have oversight and the final say, or just to be able to give you the comfort that you need to be able to relinquish a little bit of control so that you can create more leverage in your business. So we think this is a really cool tool. All right, last thing that we have to share with you this week is the improvement of custom email reporting at the agency level. I've touched on this a couple times in GHL weekly breakdown videos. It doesn't pertain a lot to individual loan officers unless your agency is leveraging it. And so they've made some enhancements. They've made enough enhancements of this. Again, just kind of that same logic where we're gonna sit, we're gonna watch, wait for the dust to settle. This email reporting feature was announced a couple months ago. We haven't exactly known where they're gonna go with it, how much they're gonna support it, etc. Here we are a couple months later, they're starting to roll out some really cool reports that are just ready to go that you can schedule to automatically email to your clients. And so I bring this up here because you'll probably, if you're an Empower LO client, whether it's Core, our lead generation product, or you're just using our GHL instance, expect to start seeing some emailed reports coming through, and feel free to offer your feedback on how those reports are helping you, or maybe you think they're useless and you have some ideas for better reports you'd like to see. We'd love to hear them and pass along that information to HighLevel, any positive or any useful feedback that we can. All right, guys, that is it for this week's GHL Weekly Breakdown. This was a big one. Please make sure, go through, listen and watch this. I've already filtered all the shit that you probably don't need to hear about what HighLevel is doing. This stuff is the stuff that you should be hearing. This is Thursdays are a day that you should have bookmarked in your calendar to come in maybe 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon and watch the GHL Weekly Breakdown. Subscribe to notifications if you have to, whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that you're watching this. If you get 3-4 weeks behind, it's hard to catch up. Trust me, I know from experience. So anyways, with that said, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week for our weekly Zoom room on Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you at the top.